Bonjour, French 2 students. Here is your teaching video for lesson 26C, pages 378 to 381 in your textbook. S'il vous plaît, ouvrez vos livres à la page 378. L'article partitif du, de, la. Learning about language. The pictures on the left represent whole items. A whole chicken, a whole cake, a whole head of lettuce, a whole fish. The nouns are introduced by indefinite articles un and une. Voici un poulet, voici un gâteau, voici une salade, voici une sole. So kind of remember here that un and une, okay, mean a or an. And un is the masculine one, and une is the feminine one. The pictures on the right represent a part or some quantity of these items. A serving of chicken, a slice of cake, some leaves of lettuce, a piece of fish. The nouns are introduced by partitive articles du, de, la. Voilà du poulet. Voilà du gâteau. Voilà de la salade. Voilà de la sole. So, again, these mean some or part or kind of a piece. And du is our masculine one. And de la is our feminine. So notice en over here becomes du. En, du, un, de la, So you need to be careful about which article you use. If you say je mange un poulet, it means I ate a whole chicken. If you say je mange du poulet, it means you ate some chicken. So like you had a piece of it, you had part of it. So again, we want to be kind of careful because if we say je mange un gâteau, that means I ate a cake, the whole cake. Now, maybe that's what you mean to say, because maybe you were being really picky. Okay? But if you don't mean to say that you ate the whole cake, then you have to say je mange du gâteau. Meaning, I ate some or a piece of cake. So there's quite a difference there depending upon what article you use. So again, these are, you use this partitive article when you're talking about some quantity, so not the whole thing. Okay. The partitive article, or forms, the partitive article is used to refer to a certain quantity or a certain amount of something and corresponds to the English some or any. It has the following forms: masculine, du fromage, du pain, so some cheese, some bread, or any cheese, any bread. And feminine, de la salade, de la limonade, some salad, some lemonade. Note that du and de la become de l'apostrophe before a vowel sound. So again, okay, de l'apostrophe before a vowel that starts before a word that starts. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so you use de l'apostrophe when your noun starts with a vowel or a silent H. Okay, so de l'eau minérale, some mineral water. Okay, so again, you use these articles, these partitive articles, this do or de la, if you want to talk about just having a part of something and not eating the entire thing. So uses. Note how the partitive article is used in the sentences below. Philippe mange du fromage. Philippe is eating some cheese. Nous prenons de la salade. We are having some salad. Est-ce que tu veux du lait? Do you want some milk? No, mais je voudrais de l'eau. No, but I would like some water. While the words some or any are often omitted, that means left out, in English, the articles do and de la must be used in French. So just like we've seen before, right? All French nouns must have an article of some sort. Okay, so and again, remember this article comes typically before our noun. Right, so when we say un pizza, right, a pizza, la pizza, the pizza. If I want to say some pizza, like I had pizza maybe for dinner, but I didn't eat the entire pizza, it'd be de la pizza. So some pizza. Okay. Partitive articles may also be used with nouns designating things other than foods and beverages. For example, tu as de l'argent. Do you have any money, or do you have some money? So it's not just with food, although it's used a lot with food, but it can also be used with some of your other nouns. Partitive articles are often, but not always, used with the following expressions and verbs. So remember, again, these are verbs that typically you're going to use the partitive article with. So these are kind of like our aimer, adorer, détester, and préférer verbs. Remember, these were verbs that always use the definite articles. Okay, so these always used a le, a la, a lay, and L apostrophe, right? These are a set of verbs that tend to use the partitive articles. So they're usually going to use either do if my noun is masculine, or de la if my noun is feminine, or de l'apostrophe if my noun starts with a vowel or a silent H. So we have voici, voici du pain, here is some bread. Voilà, voilà de la mayonnaise, here is some mayonnaise, right? Typically don't eat the entire container of mayonnaise, that'd be kind of gross, okay? Il y a, est-ce qu'il y a de la salade? Is there some or any salad? Acheter, nous achetons du fromage. We are buying some cheese. Avoir, Est-ce que tu as de la limonade? Do you have some or any lemon soda? Manger. Marc mange du roast beef. Marc is eating some roast beef. Prendre. Est-ce que vous prenez du café? Are you having any coffee? And vouloir. Est-ce que tu veux de la glace? Do you want any ice cream? And again, kind of the difference here. The voici un gâteau. Voici du gâteau. Voici un gâteau means here's the entire cake. Voici du gâteau means here's a piece of cake. Okay. Other thing to kind of remember about this is acheter. Acheter, remember, is a spelling change verb. So remember in the boot, it becomes J'Achete. It ends normally, but remember it gets this accent in the boot forms. So again, you might be using that quite a bit again, and that's just kind of a reminder about acheter, that it gets that accent in the boot forms. So let's take a look at exercice 6, le menu. Vous avez préparé un dîner pour le club français. Dis à un camarade ce qu'il y a au menu. So the menu. You have prepared a dinner for the French club. Tell a friend what there is on the menu. So all of these are going to start with the il y a. And because it's il y a, we're going to use either du, de la, or de l'apostrophe. Because again, we're saying that there is some. Okay? So, numéro 1, le roast beef. Il y a du roast beef, right? Du because it's masculine, right? So remember, if I have a le, it's going to become du, right? If I have a la, it's going to become de la. And again, if I have a vowel or a silent H, it's going to become the de l'apostrophe. De. Il y a du poulet. 3. Il y a de la salade. 4. Il y a du fromage. 5. Il y a de la glace. 6. Il y a de la tarte. 7. L'eau minérale. Il y a de l'eau minérale. Et 8. Il y a du jus d'orange. Taking a look at exercice 8 à la page 380. Qu'est-ce qu'on met? Dis quel produit de la liste on met dans ou sur les choses suivantes. What is one putting on? Say what products from the list one puts on, or one puts in or on the following things. So we have our list over here, right? Le fromage is cheese. Le jambon is ham. Le beurre is butter. La confiture is jam. Le ketchup is ketchup. La mayonnaise is mayonnaise. Le sel is salt. La crème is cream. Le sucre is sugar. La moutarde is mustard. And le lait is milk. And again, with these, you're probably not going to eat all of the cheese or all of this, right? So these are all going to use these partitive articles. So again, we're going to use du for something that's masculine, de la for something that's feminine, and de l'apostrophe for something that starts with a vowel or our silent H. So again, I'm going to give you a chance to say these to yourself out loud, and then you'll hear me confirm it for you. And there's some variety you can have here. So, numéro un. On met du sucre dans le café. On met du lait dans le café. On met de la crème dans le café, right? Depending on how you take your coffee. Deux. On met du sucre dans le thé. On met du lait dans le café or thé. On met de la crème dans le thé. Or none of those choices, right? It's tea. Trois. On met du sel dans la soupe. Quatre. On met de la mayonnaise dans un sandwich. On met de la moutarde dans un sandwich. On met du jambon dans un sandwich. Any of those would work. 5. On met du ketchup sur un hamburger. On met de la moutarde sur un hamburger. 6. On met de la moutarde sur un hot dog. On met du ketchup sur un hot dog. 7. On met du lait dans les céréales. On met du sucre dans les céréales. And 8. On met du beurre sur un toast. On met de la confiture sur un toast. Exercice 9. Les courses. Monsieur Simon a fait les courses, dit ce qu'il a acheté. So, shopping. Mr. Simon went or did the grocery shopping. Say what he bought. So again, acheter is one of these verbs that pretty much always uses our partitive articles. So we're going to use du, we're going to use de la, we're going to use de l'apostrophe because again, it's not likely that you bought the entire store out of whatever it is you bought. The il a acheté will be in all of our answers. Okay? S'il vous plaît, say il a acheté. Il a acheté. All right, numéro 1, some jam. Il a acheté de la confiture. 2, mineral water. Il a acheté de l'eau minérale. 3, butter. Il a acheté du beurre. 4, coffee. Il a acheté du café. 5, cheese. Il a acheté du fromage. 6, fish. Il a acheté du poisson. 7 is milk. Il a acheté du lait. 10. Le cochon dort. Émile est allé au restaurant. Voici l'addition. Dis ce qu'elle a pris. So, the golden pig. Emily went to the restaurant. Here is the bill. Say what she took or had or ordered. So, for all of these, it's going to start Emile a pris. And again, because she's probably not eating the restaurant out of any of these, we're always going to use a partitive article du, de la, or de l'apostrophe. So our example becomes Émile a pris de la salade de tomate. And if you want to say, instead of Émile, you could just use elle, if you'd like. So numéro 1, poulet. Émile a pris du poulet. de salade. Émile a pris de la salade. 3. Fromage. Émile a pris du fromage. 4. Glace. Émile a pris de la glace. And 5. Eau minérale. Émile a pris de l'eau minérale. So that brings us to your homework assignment. On page 379, exercise 6, and page 389 and 10. So here's exercise 6. Again, we did this one out loud. Remember that il y a is going to stay the same every time. And if it's feminine, it's going to become de la. If it's masculine, it's going to become du for the partitive article. And if it's an L apostrophe, it's going to become de L apostrophe. I'd like you to write the whole sentence. So number 1 would be il y a du roast beef. So you're writing out those 8 sentences. For exercise 9, we also did this one out loud. Remember that il a acheté stays the same every time. And then you're just putting whatever the picture is of. Again, we're going to use de la if it's feminine. We're going to use du if it's masculine. And if it starts with a vowel, we're going to use the de L apostrophe. So for number 1, it would be il a acheté. Okay, and de la confiture. So you're going to write out those sentences for the 7 of those. And exercice 10, we also did this one out loud. Remember that Émile a pris stays the same every time, and you're still using those partitive articles. Again, if you don't want to write her name, you can just write L. So, Elle a pris du poulet. Right? There are 5 items on the check, so you're going to write out 5 sentences here. And that's your homework. Au revoir. À demain.